Have you still been sitting down and wondering why OG Fortnite exactly doesn't hit the same? Well, what exactly is the community's problem with Fortnite OG? Today I wanted to react to a video by ItsTrulyMystic talking about the community's problems with Fortnite OG. I watched this video at work the other day and I thought it was a very well put together video, and today I wanted to react it for you guys. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with ItsTrulyMystic, I've been watching the channel lately. Pinned comment, description down below. Go show them some love, guys. Let's get into this video. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Intro felt a little bit out of place today, didn't it? Regardless, let's watch a video.
How's it going, everyone? It's ItsTrulyMystic, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about Fortnite OG. Now, I know that there's a lot of problems that players have been feeling or experiencing in this mode.
And I'll get this out of the way really quick because if you guys are interested, and I know that we've spoken a lot about on the channel, so I'll keep it really brief. I really enjoyed Fortnite OG when it first came out, with no bots, with no skill-based matchmaking. It felt like playing in the OG days, which was phenomenal, but they have since ruined that, and I have not felt the same love for Fortnite OG since.
And in this video, I kind of want to talk about that. Now, I will say at the beginning that I very much enjoy Fortnite OG. I also know that they will be attending to this game mode, as we recently got things like a 100% chest spawn rate.
Yeah, and I know they've been like playing around with this. This video was made, I can't remember exactly what it was made, but this video still is relevant. It depends on the update that we're actually taking a look at here.
Of course, we're also going to be getting later seasons and brand new additions to this game mode. And even everything that we have now, I'm very much happy with. Like, I love that they brought back the OG map 1-to-1 and with revamped graphics with the lighting, textures, and fog.
Yeah, it all looks kind of like really nice in comparison. I still don't know what they do. Like, I guess you could call it revamped textures because it really does feel like the way that OG Fortnite looked, and I really appreciate that. And they didn't do what they did in Fortnite Remix, which they took something that everybody was expecting and they changed it around. While that could work, a lot of people really wanted a one-for-one, and I do appreciate that when it comes to Fortnite OG.
However, all of the problems that people have with OG have to do with the changes that Epic kept in this game mode, which aren't OG. 2017 Fortnite is very special because it was the birth of Battle Royale for this game. Keeping that in mind, I believe Epic should have handed their player base a less half-baked game mode. So
Interesting that we say it. Okay, because OG Fortnite was an unfinished Battle Royale game, right? Maybe that's exactly where he's going with this. I'm sorry, I watched this video at work and I was working at the same time. I don't remember exactly where he gets into it, so I'll let him expand.
To recapture that nostalgia and go beyond what Fortnite gave us last year in the form of a 1-month season, Fortnite OG, I will take it upon myself to restructure and possibly fix the issues that many people have with Fortnite OG Chapter 1 Season 1.
I see. Okay, yeah, there was... The problem is, I understand this, and I still would have fun if this was the case for Fortnite OG. But man, like, I still probably would prefer a one-to-one creation, but I keep being a hypocrite in saying that because, well, I want the new movement. There are, in particular, certain things that I would like to continue on with this Fortnite OG, right?
So that it is just as good, if not better, than any iteration of OG Fortnite ever made. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Heals. Let's start with the least problematic. I understand the frustration of trying to find heals and shields in Fortnite OG.
I personally didn't find that frustrating. I understand why people would find it frustrating, but this is what I loved. It made me feel like I was playing back in the OG days again, where heals were very difficult to find. You had to worry about pushing fights. You had to worry about consuming your heals. You had to worry, like, is it really worth it to take, like, 30 shield right now when I have a 50 pot? Like, you had really had to play carefully, and that's something that I absolutely loved about Fortnite OG. So I do understand the frustration, like I said, from the player base, but I thought this is a good thing, and I would keep it.
But this is nothing new, as it was like that originally. Minis didn't come to the game until Season 2. It is what it is. This forces players to play smart and cautious. If you find yourself dying to this a lot due to the lack of heals, perhaps this is an issue that can be solved by fixing another problem in the game mode.
Yeah, and there wasn't everybody just like trying to get the highest kill games ever and trying to push people all of the time, right? Like it was really a different way to play Fortnite, and that's what I love because as OG Fortnite evolves, as we get into Chapter 1, Season 5, 6, 7, that's going to change. I would love to play the game how it was. I don't know if I want to say meant to be played. I think that's kind of how Epic was going with it, but you understand what I'm saying. I would rather play with the play style and the careful strategic ways that you had to go about playing this game. I like that about Fortnite OG.
So let's move on. The storm. Now, this problem I don't see many people complaining about. The OG storm was way slower than the one we have now. This meant that you actually had a chance to escape out of it with most of your health intact. The reason as to why the storm is so fast is most likely due to the new movement.
Yeah, you can get around the map like absolutely no problem now. And I don't remember when vehicles are coming out, but even when you're going to have vehicles, man, like it's going to be real easy to traverse.
Of course, with tactical sprinting, now in this mode, players would be faster than the OG storm speed. So Epic decided to make the storm faster to balance things out.
And I like that. I always like when the storm is something that you actually have to worry about. I personally don't like it when there's metas where you can just hang out and storm all day. I like it better when you actually have to worry about the storm being on your back, making sure you're in the circle on time.
But for OG Fortnite, this doesn't work. It isn't fast-paced like normal BR. This is OG, and there's also no mobility either. You can take creative liberties for this mode and slow things down. And slowing things down will soon seem like the way to fix everything about Fortnite OG.
Now, if he's going to get into the movement, this I actually do disagree with. Although, like, again, I'd have to play it. I'd have to play it because every creative map that I've played with the OG movement, I personally hated. But the fact that I had to be so careful and the fact that it actually brought me back to when I originally started playing Fortnite was a fun experience that I didn't necessarily expect to have. So let's see where he gets into this.
I would slow down the storm, as if you want to play fast-paced games, you can always play normal BR. On top of that, I would bring back the OG Hexagon Storm, as it is a nice aesthetic bonus.
You know, I was listening to this in headphones and I wasn't actually looking at the screen. I forgot about this. I kind of like that as well. I don't know. I don't have a preference. I like them both. I think they're both pretty. Like, I love modern Fortnite and modern Fortnite's graphics, but man, there was something special about the OG Fortnite graphics as well.
With these fixes, the quote-unquote no heals problem would be mitigated, as you wouldn't be caught in the storm constantly.
But it's also important to note, I don't believe the no heals is an issue. Yeah, it's unbalanced. Yeah, they're hard to find, but that's the magic of OG Fortnite. That's something that I enjoyed playing with.
This would also let players have a bit more time to loot and secure those things like meds and shields. The movement. This goes hand in hand with fixing the storm. You can't change one without the other. Tack sprint and mantling falls in this category.
Yeah, you know what? I can get behind that. If you change one, yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know if I can get behind that. I understand what Mystic's saying. I get it, and he makes a good point. I'm interested in what you guys think about all this in the comments down below, by the way. And please, again, go show Mystic some love. I've been binging the channel. The channel's very, very fun.
I will admit that these features are nice to have to get around quick and easy. But a game mode that focuses on making sure everything's OG and classic shouldn't have them. I understand that changing this will bring us back to square one with a slower storm. So if Epic were to change anything, at least make the storm a bit slower. I feel like them changing the movement is the less likely option.
Yeah, I don't know if they would ever even consider doing that, to be honest with you, because they want the easy transition to Chapter 6. I believe that's the most important thing, because are they going to keep this forever? What happens when Season X comes about? I would imagine that's the reason for it.
Especially considering that it's featured in the trailer. However, this idea doesn't stop them from considering it next season.
Yeah, it's true.
In Zero Build, I think is where it gets a little difficult. Since in this mode, there's no building at all, and the map has a lot of open spaces, tag sprinting, mantling, and sliding would almost be essential.
Yeah, no matter what, and especially you could, like, I don't care. If it's build, have it a 1-for-1. And for Zero Build, have the tactical sprint mantling, all the new movement mechanics. I think that's a necessity for Zero Build. And I apologize if it was somebody else, guys. I sincerely apologize. I think it was Clark that said this. It's escaping me who said this at the moment. But regardless, it was suggested, and I really didn't think about it until it was said. I'm almost sure it was Clark. But now I'm going to sound really stupid if it wasn't. Okay, either way. To keep all of the new movement mechanics in Zero Build and just keep it completely separate from the OG. I could get behind that. I could really, really get behind that. And ever since then, I was like, I never actually really thought about it that way.
So ultimately, I would keep the new movement for this mode. Since Zero Build didn't exist in 2017, or Chapter 1 for that matter anyway, I think no one would really mind if these mechanics stayed here. The movement animations.
Now okay, now this is one that I don't get. I never noticed the movement animations until people start freaking out and pointing, like, and just talk about what's going on with them. I wouldn't have noticed it probably at all if it wasn't for Twitter. I don't get the hype behind it. I don't get the big deal. It doesn't look as goofy as everybody else says. I'll say that.
Just talked about movement in the sense of how you maneuver around the map. But one thing many players talk about when bringing up the new movement in the game is the feel of the new animations that were added at the start of Chapter 5.
Like, I don't see the problem. I truthfully do not see the problem. But of course, am I in the minority here? I don't know. The online Fortnite player base are always looking for something to be upset about too.
I think I speak for a majority of the community. The new movement animations are just not it. Epic has stated that we would eventually get used to it, but after a year, I don't think we have.
Yeah, I don't know. The problem is, I would imagine that this is a non-issue for the vast majority of the player base. You're talking about the online Fortnite community, right? They're the ones not happy with it.
The thing about getting used to the new movement animations is that it isn't that simple. For years, we were used to how the game felt. The movement animations had very little to no changes for a long time. So when you do a complete overhaul out of nowhere, the difference will noticeably hit.
I get that, but we're also adding to the movement, right? Because they look funky tactical sprinting in comparison to how they moved. They look funky sliding in comparison to OG Fortnite. You kind of get what I'm saying?
A truck. Now, especially for Fortnite OG, the movement seems out of place. If you're someone who likes the new movement or has gotten used to it, cheers to you, mate. But as an OG who plays other games and has a life outside of Fortnite, I want to come back to a familiar, comfortable feeling game.
Okay, I don't think it's fair to start like bringing up the point where it's like I have a life outside of Fortnite. The vast majority of us do, but we still can critique or whatever we want to critique. People don't like dive in the opposite side of that, by the way. The people who just want to come on and just chill on a game, I would imagine that a lot of them don't really care about this. I don't know. I just don't think it's really fair to bring up.
And guess what, guys? We can have our cake and eat it too. Epic could have changed the movement for this mode, but they decided not to.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be mad if they did that, honestly. Like, it's just animations. As long as it still functions the same, it doesn't matter to me. As long as it doesn't look absolutely ridiculous.
Because it was easier and quicker for them to throw out a modernized, half-baked mode as a nostalgia grab instead of pure OG Fortnite, which is what people have been wanting. Now,
and this is where I'm stuck on, like, would it really be better? Would it really be better if it was a truthful one-to-one? I don't know anymore, because I had so much fun playing at the very beginning of this when it first released with no skill-based matchmaking, no bots. I had that much fun playing at the beginning of it that it actually made me, like, walk back on my take a little bit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, one for one, that's a big step.
am I going to lose sleep over the new animations? Of course not. You can tell that at the beginning of Chapter 5, they wanted to take a risk and give us something new and realistic. I don't mind it at all that much in regular BR, but for OG, come on. Chapter 1 Fortnite was cartoony, not realistic. For movement animations, I would give what the players have been asking for. Old school running, walking, and crouching would come back for Fortnite OG.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's actually difficult for Epic Games to add, because I wouldn't imagine it's difficult for them to add. But then again, I don't know if they're going to run into problems with like bugs, like when they're stepping on wood or something. I don't know that much about game development. If anybody could shed some light on that in the comments, I would appreciate it, because this is not my realm of expertise.
The HUD. Alright, let's talk about the HUD. I'm going to ask you guys a genuine question. Do you really need the OG HUD? The correct answer should most definitely be a resounding no.
Based. I will say, though, people can have their preferences. People can want what they want, but is it necessary? No, and Mystic's right in saying that.
There are changes that the people at Epic have made which really don't impact the game that much. If you're crying over the fact that Fortnite OG sucks because the old HUD isn't there, we need to have a talk.
It's actually crazy that there's people who really like think like that. It's not OG. If it's not OG, it's not for me.
There are more important fixes to focus on for this mode, and the HUD is really one that shouldn't even be on here. Now, I will say that I find it kinda odd that after all this time, there still isn't a setting to change the HUD to how you want it.
Yeah, and it's another one of those things that it would be a nice quality of life change. And if Epic Games is going to go this route and bringing back everything OG, why not just take the extra step and give it to us? We know that they have it. Just add a gold counter, whatever they need to add, right? Like, I don't get it, man. It seems like one of those simple things that they could add, and I would like for them to add that.
My guess as to why this isn't here yet is that Project Nova uses it, and so to distinguish the game from that, they keep it to what we have now?
Interesting. Either that or they just want the UI to be familiar across like every single mode that you play on Fortnite, but it's possible.
It could also be that they want to leave it in Chapter 1 to differentiate gameplay or for nostalgia's sake. I don't know, but an option to change it wouldn't hurt.
I don't know about that one, though. I don't know about that one.
And players would be able to have quote-unquote true OG Fortnite gun models. I do have to give props to Epic for bringing back the old models for the pump, burst, and rocket launcher.
Now, I'll be honest with you guys. This was something that I'm almost sure I was vocal on because we've talked about so much Fortnite on this channel. I didn't care about the old models. I wanted the game to just feel the same. But this is something that I was wrong about. It was so hype picking up that OG burst assault rifle. It was so hype picking up my first gold scar. It looked the same, and I don't think if they didn't change it to the old gun models, then I wouldn't have felt the same. I don't think I would have.
But I can't help to think, why did you stop here? You can't tell me that they were that lazy to bring back the model for the scar. Like, guys, you got...
Maybe they just wanted to bring back the most iconic weapons. I don't know, but I'm with Mystic on this one. Why did they stop?
The sound, but forgot to change the look. Now, obviously, this isn't a deal breaker. I'm just more confused and upset about this decision.
Yeah, I'm not upset either. And it's important to note, like, with any critiques that I'm making, I'm not upset. It's a video game at the end of the day.
But a multi-billion-dollar company failed to fully deliver a finished gun that is probably the most iconic gun from the game? I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. But now that I'm thinking about it, was it not the old SCAR model? Regardless, it looks similar enough that I was hyped.
And then there's the Scope AR, Bolt Action Sniper Rifle, and even the epic and legendary rocket launcher. No. Not on my watch. The quality of life changes are much appreciated from Epic, but we are not doing no half-booty approach.
Yeah, it's just strange to me that they did that. Like, they have half the gun models, and then just half they were like, yep, okay, we're just going to leave it as is. It's one of those things that just don't make sense to me.
In this mode, all OG models should be present. But wouldn't it be too confusing if the guns from different rarities look the same? Not really. The Burst has the same model for all 5 rarities, and they still changed it.
Yep.
But in the end, it's not even about the gun models. It's the principal Epic. Building.
Ooh, putting the foot down.
Alright, let's get into the real meat and potatoes. For building, I would say it is a bit of a tough one. We didn't get turbo building until Season 3. So with that logic, you can't say that it should be removed until then.
An unpopular opinion, but I actually would kind of like to try the game like that again. I loved the turbo build nerf back in Season X, and this is also coming from somebody who really enjoys modern competitive Fortnite. I liked it both ways.
Right? Well, many players love building, whether it's cranking 90s, full boxing someone, or just plain protection.
Yeah, it's become the future of Fortnite, and it's not right to take that away. But then again, you have the building mode in Chapter 6. If they want to be faithful, if they want to copy it, maybe a no turbo build mode is the way to go.
Removing the ability to turbo build would make a lot of people angry. And this was done in the past during Season X. We all know how that went.
And that is, guys, that is one of the biggest freakouts that is not talked about enough. Like, this was one of the moments where the community raged the most in the entire history of Fortnite.
So the best idea would probably be to keep it unchanged. Except, I'm not doing that. Now, an angry mob of 9-year-olds start marching to my home. Let me explain why.
Oh my god, Mystic going crazy. Mystic going crazy.
I've made a couple videos talking about the feeling of winning a game in Fortnite. In those videos, I bring up the fact that building was so new at the time of the game's launch that if you were good at it, that took a lot of skill. Now flash forward to now, and what has happened?
The complete opposite. Everybody is good, and like you're the weird one for not being that good.
Tons of players are playing Fortnite OG and are getting their cheeks clapped. To possibly reprogram returning players or calm down these little Timmies from peace controlling everyone, we need to lower the skill ceiling. Of course, Epic can't really lower a player's skill.
I kind of liked that, though. I liked the no skill-based matchmaking. I liked being worried about the OG John Wicks. I liked being worried and seeing when a player was so much better than me. I liked the giant skill gap, and I don't understand, like, the gaming culture has changed so much that it's it's unfortunate in my opinion.
But what they can do is limit how much they can perform. For just the first 2 seasons of Fortnite OG, I would remove turbo building. And if you're mad about that, go play another mode until Season 3.
And to be honest with you, I'm for that. If they want to remove turbo build for the first 2 seasons and put it back to normal when turbo build actually came back into the game and then do it again in Season X, that'd be hilarious. I'm for that.
Where it will be re-enabled for the rest of the chapter.
Yep.
Chapter 1 Season 1 did not get brought back to be turned into a box fight or zone wars.
And as much as I love box fight and zone wars, I tend to agree with this a little bit.
The nature of it should be respected more. And oh my goodness, the 9-year-olds are coming. Please don't box me.
Run, Mystic, run!
Skill-based matchmaking. Finally, this last section is where we'll discuss the problems people have with these sweats and bots.
I am against skill-based matchmaking completely, although I do understand the argument for it. I'm against it completely. Everybody needs to be comfortable with losing again.
I made a poll almost a week ago after Fortnite added bots to Fortnite OG, and with over 2.4k votes, a 60% majority said that Fortnite OG should not have bots.
And it's important to note before we move on, I know I've said this a million times on the channel, but I just want to mention it in case it's your first time here or you forgot. Something that I would love is for Epic Games to not have bots in Fortnite, but for those who want to play in bot-only lobbies, that should be enabled for people to play if they want that.
With the other 40% saying it should. Now, I think this is a really close representation on what the community as a whole thinks as well.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. It really seems like most people are against bots in general, at least to the extent like that you find bots in the game. They'd want a reduction at the very least.
It's almost 50-50, but I'm going to give you my answer and opinion. Fortnite OG should not have bots. However, there is a compromise to be made. The reason why I believe Fortnite OG shouldn't include bots is because it feels cheap and boring killing and winning against them.
Yeah, and the bots are worse than, I don't know, people were pretty bad back in the day, but still, it's not rewarding getting a victory over a bot in Fortnite OG, and you can just tell when they're bots. It takes away from the experience completely.
I believe that it is much more engaging to know that every player you come across in a match is a real player.
Yes, and the point of a battle royale is to get a victory over 99 real people in a lobby like the Hunger Games. That's the fun of it. That's why the wins felt so special.
The problems start coming in though when casuals are constantly getting stomped by sweats.
That was always a thing though, even in OG Fortnite. The great players were always around. That was half the fun. I don't understand why nobody is comfortable with losing anymore. It's just this complete change.
I get that some people just want to have a chill game and even get their challenge done.
So have a chill game. It's a mindset switch, and it's that easy, and I will stand on that.
But both sides have fair points. But
they do have fair points. I'll admit to that. I just think that there's a correct way to go about it.
Where Epic went wrong here was not trying to fix the grand problems. A compromise can be made to make everyone happy, and I'll tell you how. Now, I'm not an expert on how skill-based matchmaking works, but I can't imagine it being so difficult to the point where it hasn't been fixed for years.
I don't know. The problem is we can't gauge it properly because of all of the bots that are in the game right now. Sorry for the jump cut, guys. Long story short, last night something came up while I was recording, so it is the next day. It's literally the next morning. I look like absolute trash right now. I got my hood on, and we're going to continue the video. I have my child next to me. Sorry if she makes a little bit of noise, but let's finish this video.
Tell me why Epic feels the need to fill servers with bots when there are actively over 1 million different players playing the game daily.
Yeah, the only answer to it is that people can't handle losing anymore. Like, that's what I believe. Like, there is actually that many people who really can't handle it. Like, we didn't have this back when I was growing up. I know my boom rage is showing right now, but man, like, times have changed.
With peaks of 2 to 3 million every now and then, skill-based matchmaking comes with bots. But it doesn't need to be that way. Again, I'm not an expert, but isn't it possible to have skill-based matchmaking without bots? I mean, if done correctly, you should be playing with real players that are similar to your skill level.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think about in the comments again. Like, do you think Epic Games does it because they don't know how to fix it or they're incapable of fixing it? I really don't know, because skill-based matchmaking does seem like the right thing to do at the very least. I'm still against it, but at the very least, like, bots don't seem like the solution.
I would get that system recalibrated or something epic. I mean, it's been years and you clearly have the resources and data at your disposal to fix this. Once done right, casuals will be able to play with casuals, and sweats will be put in servers with other sweats.
Yep, and I understand the argument for the people where it's like, just because I'm good doesn't mean I should be placed in lobbies with people that are also good, and then I have to try as hard as I possibly can every single time to win. I understand, and I'm more so for that, but I understand the argument from everybody's perspective, to be honest with you. I just am, like, totally for, like, and it's important to know, like, while I do understand these arguments, I still do disagree with them. I am against skill-based matchmaking. I'm against bots, especially bots.
Now let's say you don't want skill-based matchmaking at all. You like the randomness and liveliness of the game. Heard. Hey Epic, you know how you have quick settings to turn ranked and team filling on and off?
Oh, so the idea is to have that with skill-based matchmaking. Actually, I actually don't mind that at all, but the problem is I would imagine this problem would be like anybody who is of any sort of lower skill level would choose to have skill-based matchmaking, and then every good player would choose to have that ticked off, and then the lobbies would just be as if like a high level of skill-based matchmaking. But I guess it is a good medium. Like, it's worth trying.
Solos, duos, trios, squads, all that. Yeah, how about a skill-based matchmaking setting, huh? This would allow players to play however they want. And yes, it is possible other games have this exact feature.
If anything, like they should do this with bots first, not even just skill-based matchmaking.
You might say that that's what ranked is for, but no, ranked is different. Ranked is catered towards competitive, which is why it has different tiers for ranks. The matches that you get into are also determined by your rank. What I'm introducing is a setting that allows players to play at a skill level based off of weekly to monthly performance overall in Fortnite Battle Royale.
Yeah, honestly, the way that ranked is right now, I don't think that should be changed, but there needs to be something done about pubs.
With this, you won't have to worry about progressing too far to the point where you'll go up against sweats. This will monitor a player's playstyle very closely to keep everyone in the right groups.
But this takes away from the novelty of BR, in my opinion. Like, you guys don't feel the same way? I like the idea of just having 99 random people, whether they're good, whether they're bad, and the best one comes out and wins.
If this were to get
and even like the best one doesn't always come out and win. It's just sometimes the worst player does.
Added, it may not be perfect on launch, but with constant monitoring and updates, the system will be timeless. And wow, that was a lot. But with any of these ideas, that is how I would improve the skill-based matchmaking problems with Fortnite OG.
And I liked what he had to say in general, man. There were a lot of really, really good points. I don't think there was much that I refuted or disagreed with, but I'd have to really sit down and think about each point. But for the most part, like, I really like a lot of these ideas.
OG. And so, to wrap it all up, I want to say that I'm a big fan of what they're doing with Fortnite OG. I am grateful that we even have what we have in the first place.
And I completely agree with that. I like what they're doing. I like that this isn't just kind of a mix-up season like the first OG was. I like that it's a one-for-one, like, as much as you could do, really. And I will forever be grateful for all of the hard work and dedication those devs put into making this game, because this is incredible, and I can't imagine the hard work behind the scenes.
And I know we'll be eating good for the future of the mode. But I also know that Fortnite could have given us better. And as someone who hears the feedback and reception from the community about this mode, I have to give my thoughts and opinions as well. I hope that Epic considers any of these ideas and incorporates them into the mode.
I wish we could know, like, if Epic Games did watch, like, any channels. Like, you know, like, Cypher PK, we know that they watch, and I'm sure that they watch a few other YouTubers. But it'd be cool, like, if some Epic employee, kind of like on Reddit, how if an Epic employee scrolls through a Reddit thread, and then it'd be like, Epic Games dev reply, or whatever it says next to their name. I think that'd be cool if, like, one could randomly show up in the comment section.
OG Fortnite, especially the earlier seasons, had a special charm. On launch, this mode had the potential to surpass Fortnite OG from last year, but right now, it's played just as much as regular BR.
Now, I will say, I felt the same kind of charm when it first launched, without the skill-based matchmaking, without the bots. I did feel that charm again.
If the OG Fortnite was really back, I know it would have gotten a little more respect than what this mode gave us.
I don't know. I think that the player base would have really been upset with a lot of the old changes. Like, I don't know, man. It's difficult because I had so much fun for the one-to-one copy that I'm kind of walking back on my point about the movement, but throughout history, I was kind of like, if they bring back the old movement, everybody would hate it. So I don't know at this point, man. I don't know. We'd have to play around with it to find out.
Also, where's the purple tab? Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? Please write your opinions. I would love to read them.
And go give some opinions. It's Truly Mystic as well. You can find that in the pinned comment description down below, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Apologies again for my appearance. I literally just woke up. It's the next day, and I had to get this done. And now I put on something on the laptop for my baby to watch, keep her a little occupied for a few minutes. Sorry if she made a little bit of noise in the last few minutes. But regardless, guys, go show them some love. And again, the links will be there in the pinned comment description down below. It's Truly Mystic is a channel that I have been watching lately. But if you have already subscribed to that channel, you've already watched that content, then check out this video on screen right now. It's another reaction video, guys. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.